Hey Vinyl Junkies, Uncle Roddus back again with another video. It is, what is it? The 3rd of September today. Okay, so records have slowed down considerably, and we've just come out of a severe lockdown from the bloody Delta virus, COVID virus, getting into our country. Luckily, none of it's been down in our part of the world, our country, just all up in the North Island, but we've just come down off 2 weeks of lockdown, so I haven't had any records arriving, obviously, in that time. I've had some records that I purchased just before lockdown that have turned up, plus some that turned up just before lockdown, so, but not much, to be honest. But I've had some that have been waiting since December last year, so just before Christmas last year I ordered 4 records from International Anthem directly from their Bandcamp page. They are available locally in New Zealand, and I did pick one up earlier this year from my local record shop, but they're pretty sparse coming in nowadays with this COVID thing, of course, and so I grabbed a bunch off some, well, at the time, new releases. Obviously there's been a lot more new releases come out since then, but these have just turned up today, so 9 months, 9 months to get them here, really. But to be honest, what happened was, I think everyone in the States got held up with them because one of the records that I ordered was on a boat from Europe, and it took 6 months to get to the States, or something like that, or more. And then it's been another 6 weeks since they posted them, or maybe 7 weeks since they posted them within America to get them to me. The tracking suggested it took over a month to get from Portland to Chicago before it got put on a plane or whatever to get here. So anyway, look, they finally arrived, and this is one of them. Miriam McRaven. No, Maya McRaven. I've got his other album which is related to this. So this is, what is this? She didn't seem to have an obi with it. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Here we go. Universal Beings sides E and F. So 14 new pieces of organic beat music cut from the original sessions. So this is a companion to, obviously, parts 1 and 2, which was a double album which I picked up ages ago. So that's one of his, and I think it's just on the black vinyl. Yeah, I'm pretty sure these are all just the black vinyl versions. I didn't pick up any of the coloured versions because they're just, they are a wee bit more expensive. And I bought 4 of them because you have to justify the cost of the postage to get the bloody things all the way here. So probably the last time I'm going to do that, I'm probably just going to have to wait for them to turn up in my local shop. Carlos Nino and Miguel Artwood Ferguson, Chicago Waves. So this was released in 2020, I believe. So I can't say a lot about that. Again, it's just on the black vinyl. So really pleased to have these. So I do have several other International Anthem records that I have shown over the last couple of 3 years. And there are obviously still quite a few more come out since I ordered these, which I will look into. So this is the one that held everything up. Angel Bat Dawood and the Brotherhood. This is a double live record in Europe, I believe. This was released earlier this year. It was recorded in looks like 2019. It was supposedly released last year, but it only just turned up. And again on the black vinyl. So the rest of my afternoon will be cleaning these so that I can play them on my VPI. So yeah, that's cool. So I've also got the previous record this lady put out. Really good. So looking forward to that one. And then finally, the one that's most exciting for me is the new. Well, it's not new anymore because they got another one coming out in a couple of months. But this is their new album when I ordered it. Irreversible entanglements. So this is the next record they put out after the first one of theirs I got. which I don't think was their first album per se, but I can't remember. Wow, yeah, I'm really excited because their last album absolutely blew me away. It was just incredible, and so really looking forward to hearing this. I have actually played them because I bought them off Bandcamp, and I've actually been able to. I did actually download them and listen to them a while back, but I haven't actually played them since. And that again is just the black vinyl version, not the fancy coloured version. But that's the one that's really got me excited today. And like I say, now they've actually got a new one about to hit the shops in November. But I might just have to see if I can get it locally instead of trying to get it from the States. But that could be interesting. So, a couple of three trademe purchases that I picked up just before lockdown. And I jumped on this. I don't normally buy 7 inches, but I jumped on this because this is Dimmer's first single, Crystallizer, and it is an absolute New Zealand classic. I picked up another 7-inch 45 on Trade Me recently, which is another one, which is an absolute New Zealand classic, which was the Expendables Flower single, which I used to have many years ago, but I've never owned a copy of this. This song hasn't turned up on any of their albums, I think, from memory. I did pick up one of their albums, which was reissued recently. So yeah, fantastic single. It's an absolute New Zealand classic, that one, and it's an instrumental track actually, the A-side, the Crystallizer song. And then I think I bought from the same seller. I picked up this one, I think, because I didn't pay a huge amount for it. I have seen it in the shops and I never jumped on it, but I kind of just picked it up because I wouldn't have had to pay any extra postage. So, if you can and they've got something you want, they all combine postage. So instead of getting one record and spending $10 on postage, you can get 5 or 6 records. Unfortunately, this guy only had the 2 records I wanted. So this is a 12-inch 5-track EP from 1980. Well, it was released in 87, I believe, but it was recorded live in 1986. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with any of the music on this. It was released on a thing called Rational Records. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure how familiar I am with this. I remember seeing it. It was familiar to me. The cover was familiar. The name of the band was familiar. Just don't remember whether I was familiar with any of their music. Possibly off student radio back in the day. So it's called Carbine. So just another nice record for my New Zealand collection. And finally, a wee bit of a backstory to this one. I'm really pleased to find this Sustenance 3, the third LP by Phil Broadbent and his quartet, drums, bass, saxophone, and bassoon and keyboards. Phil, I've got a few of Phil's records from the 70s and 80s. This is on Kiwi from 1987. So this is the third record they put out. The first record came out as Sustenance under Phil's name and whoever else's name was on it at the time. And then I think they released a second album under the band name Sustenance, and then they finally got the third one. So I had the other two, and they're really good. I really liked them, so really pleased. So I jumped on this on Trade Me. There was actually another, there was a Phil Broadbent record, not to be confused with Phil Broadhurst, from the same seller, unfortunately, and they were reasonably cheap, and I was going to jump on that, and then unfortunately I got distracted as the auction closed and I wasn't available to do any more bidding, and I put a bid in and then somebody outbid me by $1 because I wasn't paying attention, and so I missed out on that. But I'm pleased to get this. Anyway, I got an email a couple of days later from the guy who said, I can't find the record. I've either already sold it, lost it, or I don't have it, or whatever. So it was luckily I hadn't actually paid for it at that stage, and then I got an email several days later saying, oh no, I do have the record, I found it if you still want it. So that was lucky, and because I really wanted this record to flesh out the set. It's got a tear in the bag. So looking forward to listening to that. And finally, This is a brand new release that I've had sitting there, and it's for about 2 weeks. It arrived 2 or 3 weeks ago, and this is actually the first time I've played it. This is a bit of a blind buy, you know. I mean, I've kind of been snapping up just about any New Zealand releases off flying out, so this one turned up. It sounds pretty low. It sounds pretty laid back, actually. I'm not sure. This is not quite what I was expecting. I just thought I had to listen to this before I purchased it, and it sounded okay, but I could be wrong. So it might have been. Anyway, Jack Paige is the guy's name. I can't find this on Discogs as of yet. The Days Parts 1 and 2. So yeah, this has only been out a few weeks or a month or so. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just hearing that in this background. It's like, it's a bit laid back, isn't it? So I've kind of eased off the New Zealand music a bit lately. I've been quite interested in getting a hold of some overseas ones. So you would have seen in some of my last videos that I put up that was a bit of overseas, some proggy stuff I picked up locally secondhand. Some of the stuff that's been coming out locally, it hasn't been that impressive for me to want to actually buy it, and plus it's got to the stage where there is so much New Zealand music coming out on vinyl that you just can't buy all of it. I mean, unless you're really, really rich. It's actually too much. So I've started to pull back on just buying a lot of stuff. I'm going to start getting a bit more fussy about what I buy. I mean, sure, I've been pretty lucky with it. A lot of the music I've been buying New Zealand wise has been actually really, really good. There's actually a lot of the blind boys. There's not that many duds. I do get to sample a lot of it on Chris's record show, Counting the Beat record show. So that's always good. So he's done a couple of lockdown shows where he's been playing 45s, 7 inches, and also some other newer stuff. And to be honest, there's not been a lot on those shows that either I already had it or the new stuff I didn't have. There hasn't been a lot that's really impressed me just yet. So, But anyway, I need to. My non-buying this year of vinyl hasn't panned out very well, has it? But saying that, I got one more record that I have ordered from flying out, which won't get sent until they get out of level 4 lockdown. So I'm going to be a couple of weeks away before I see that yet. And then that's it. That's all I've got in the back drawer. I've got a few on my want list, but I'll have to see how the funds go. Work, like I say, I've just had 2 weeks with no work, although I did get some money out of the government to help support me on that. So we'll have to wait and see how the work picks up. I have got a few jobs on and money owing, so I need to get back into paying that mortgage. Anyway, prattle. I better go, let you go. Have a good day. Catch you next time, guys. See ya.